their hands.
Delta 1 X-ray, we have a missile launch. I repeat, we have a missile.
Map for players to explore, the game does have some boundaries. Go too far in any direction, and you're bound to find yourself bumping into an invisible wall or you in the world that Bethesda actually wants you to experience. However, just because you're not supposed to go beyond a certain point in the game, doesn't necessarily mean that it's totally impossible. And the right combination of puzzle fans and game file tweaking can allow one to break past those barriers
We fought
and visit
bled
areas of the
alongside
world
the
the
Russians.
developers
We should
didn't
have known they'd
necessarily
hate us for
expect
it.
or want us to. And while
History is
most of
written
these
by the
out-of-map
victor,
regions can get
and here I am thinking we'd won.
largely consisting of poorly textured
Bring down one enemy and they find someone even worse to replace him.
playable borders that in fact have some really fascinating
Locations
things going
change.
on.
The
Be it
rationale,
funny Easter eggs by
the
Bethesda,
objective.
or really weird
Yesterday's
anomalies nobody
enemies are
would
today's
expect.
recruits.
Around a week ago,
Train
we
them to
took a
fight
look at some
alongside
of the
you,
coolest of
and
these
pray they don't
guns.
eventually decide to
And
hate
now,
you for
I
it
think
too.
it's high time we do the Commonwealth the same favor. Sit back and relax as we take a look at 5 of the greatest out-of-map secrets in Fallout 4. We'll begin today's video quite a few miles away from the
Same
Commonwealth
shit,
itself.
different day.
Instead, we're
You know what
starting
I'm looking
just
for,
off the
Sergeant
coast
Foley.
of Bar Harbor's
Keep your
island
eyes
of
open.
Acadia. Made available in Fallout
Got a new badge
4's
hidden in the
first
pit today,
major
sir.
DLC.
I'll send you the
By
best
the
I
way,
find.
the Bar Harbor expansion is going to make multiple appearances in this video. It might seem odd, but there's just way too much here to pass up. Anyway, while the game allows us to explore the full island of Acadia, from coast to shining coast,
Welcome to
Acadia
Pull the
is
Trigger 101.
surrounded by a number of
Private Allen here is
small,
going to do a quick
lesser
weapons
islands,
demonstration to show you
many of
locals
which
how
are
it's
just
done.
beyond
No
that
offense,
techie invisible
but I see a
wall.
lot of you guys fighting
Thankfully,
and spraying
we have
clothes all over
common
the
things
range.
to get past
You don't
that.
end up hitting the damn
There's
thing and it
nothing
makes you look like
special
an
on
ass.
most of these
Private
inaccessible
Allen,
islands, really.
show 'em what I'm talking
Just
about.
lots of awesome
Grab that weapon off the table and fire at the targets
but
behind you.
on one of these inaccessible islands, located to Acadia's northwest, there's the
Holy shit. Nostalgia moment, nostalgia moment.
Don't aim at the sight yet. I'm trying to make it work. Just fire from the hip. From the hip, Private. Just like in the movie. Don't aim at the sight yet. I'm trying to make it work. Just fire from the hip. See what I mean? He sprayed bullets all over the damn place. You've got to pick your targets.
On the westernmost shoreline of this place exists an outpost.
Deliberately down your sights from a
Ooh.
stable stance. Private Allen, show our friends here how the
Epic.
Rangers take down the target. Crouch first, then aim down your sights.
Look at guys, Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Private Allen, aim down your sights before engaging the target. Don't forget to aim down your sights, Private. Allen, on top of the crouching stance, and aim down your sights. That's all there is to it. You want the targets to go down, you gotta aim down your sights. Aiming down your sights also works for switching quickly between targets.
What are you guys, what are you
Aim down your
retards
sights,
shooting at?
Then pop in and out to acquire new targets. Show 'em.
Nothing.
If your target is close to where you're aiming, you can snap to it quickly by aiming down your sights. That was too slow. You need to engage and release your aim quickly to snap to new targets.
Hey guys, GTA aim assist, am I right?
Now that's how you do it. You want to take down your targets quickly and with control. Now if your target is behind light cover, weapons can penetrate and hit your target. The pilot here will demonstrate. Last but not least, you need to know how to toss a frag grenade. Private Allen, pick up some frag grenades from the table. Toss the grenade down the range to take out several targets at once.
Oh shit, he just got balled.
Good. Note that frags tend to roll on sloped surfaces. So think twice before tossing one up. All right. Thanks for the help, Private Allen. Now get over to the pit. General is... All right. Who wants to go first?
I guess you could call them villages. Areas covered with buildings. One on the eastern side of the island. And
Yeah, bro, ball that nigga up.
the one on the eastern side is remarkably less
See, this is racist. Look, the white dude's winning. Guys, this is racist. Dude, this is racist. This is so freaking See, this is racist. See, it's racist. The white dude, or fuck, the black dude's sitting down against a fence. That's what happens in concentration camp. Oh shit. Oh. Ooh. Whoops, almost came on the screen. I mean, pissed all over the fucking TV. Who the fuck do it? Okay. Whoops. Fuck you. Oh my god. Hardened? Okay, I'll play on Hardened.
All other units, get to your sectors. We're headed out.
Really surprised. Being as we never actually see these skyscrapers anymore.
Well, look at the tank from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I mean, Part 2.
But even then, the downtown skyline is just too well concealed by trees.
We are the most powerful military force in the history of man. Every fight is our fight. Because what happens over here matters over there. We don't get to sit one out. Learning to use the tools of modern warfare is the difference between the prospering of your people and utter destruction.
Okay, so what's the big deal though? There's lots of abandoned, locked up buildings and
but we
bosses.
can give you the know-how to
The thing
acquire
about
it.
this one
And
is
that,
that
my
it
friends,
actually does
is worth
have an
more than a
interior
whole
we can
army
visit.
base of
It's
steel.
just not accessible without the help
Sure,
of
it matters
Skip.
who's got the biggest stick, but it matters a hell of a lot more.
Used Financial 23 in the game's files. The
Is it
inside
time
of this
for
guy
heroes?
very
Time
much
for legends. History is written by the
For the
victors.
most part, the area
Let's get to
feels
work.
like a normal Fallout 4 dungeon, populated by a small band of raiders, with a few interesting quirks. For one, this place is obviously unfinished. Glaring mesh issues and shiny lighting and on we can see from the windows can become tremendously distracting. Furthermore, there's an elevator that was likely supposed to function as the entrance/exit.
Just lead the way.
But what it did is take players down to a classically underdeveloped ground.
Where's that bitch at?
Information and the fact that the game style normally refers to this place as unused Financial 23 suggests that it's all just cut time. A piece of the game Bethesda just didn't finish, either due to time or some other decision. Further digging reveals that this place would have been titled The Atlantic Offices. Speculation on my end, but it seems that the basic were actually in the base of repainting. So maybe we could have gotten
Ray, just lead the way. Move.
Hey, this is never too late though. Maybe we'll eventually see this place animated by the creation of Adam Show. Kidding. I know, don't do that of accident. Wait, right on this one.
What do we even do? We fucking...
Warlord, this is Hunter 2-1, requesting airstrike to grid 252171. Target is a white 12-story apartment building. Hunter 2-1, this is Warlord. Solid copy. I have Devil 1-1, flight IQ, F-15s online, stand by for relay. Hunter 2-1, this is Devil 1-1, flight of 2 F-15s, time on station 15 miles, holding at 50 area northwest, holding area 9, carrying 2
Assuming you're able to access it, this is actually a pretty cool check. And if you're really efficient, you could pop in that new tower and walk it all the way back.
target is a white 12-story apartment building, grid 25171.
Honestly, it probably doesn't require
Level that building. How copy over?
Line in the region of Maine, and likely around the time the bombs fell, the bird went down too. However, it is worth noting that Zeke, one of the members of the Adam Cast that exists back in the system, does tell the story, where he claims to have once fixed up a bird and flown around in the sea,
Warlord,
accidentally
this is
crashing his boat.
requesting
Many
airstrike
players
to
believe that was the bird may have
Target is a white 12-story apartment building.
Hey guys, Dave from YouTube. Looking back at the end of the footage, and you can actually see a skeleton in full-on military fatigue when you're at this location, suggesting it's probably crashed. And therefore, probably in the sea. Okay, just wanted to get that out there. Moving on. Whatever really happened here, I guess we'll see not how it goes. The not-how is its building. And with that, we are going to wrap up. Following out the map secret in Fallout. Thanks a lot, guys. What you need beyond boundaries
I think maybe walk a bit forward. You fucking do.
But I always thought that some of the weapons felt too similar, like the combat rifle and the still the general idea is that you can
The one at 1 o'clock.
weapon, and then you can never use that weapon again. And by weapon, I mean the platform, I guess, the deliverer, and the normal run 10 are both compatible with one of them. Wherein modifications don't change what the weapon is. Standard firearms will operate as previously described. It doesn't matter if it is 5 shots, minigun, death log, or if it takes 1 to kill a rat roach. After I get a kill with it, it might as well not exist. Melee and unarmed weapons work the same way. One kill. Explosive weapons are different. They have an area of effect. So instead of 1 kill, I get 1 shot. I can throw 1 frag. I can fire the Batman 1 time. I can use 1 white line. You get that. Understand the rules? No? Too bad for me. Because we'll be using every sort of weapon available, special isn't all that important. I put 6 points into intelligence to level up faster, and just sort of spread out the rest somewhat evenly. Then Adam bestowed on mankind a small fraction of his love and power. Nate died, and I emerged from my slumber. From here on out, every enemy encounter requires thought and planning. I can't just kill every enemy I see, because I'd have no weapon to engage. Luckily, you can escape Vault 111 without killing any of the rat roaches by trapping them behind the sliding doors. Out into the wasteland, my first stop was Sanctuary to put another 12 in Allrock, talk to Codsworth, and get him to kill all the blood flies and pestilence. I passed by restaurant truck stops, looted some stuff, and ignored Dog because using a companion would take away from the copy and Codsworth. I sat back and waited for Preston to kill the raiders attempting to get into the museum. After waiting for about 11 seconds, I got bored and started attacking them myself. I used my fist to kill 1 raider and got a switchblade from him. By the time I was done fisting the man, Preston had dealt with the others. I tried to skip part of this quest by jumping from the roof of a church to the crashed vertibird atop the Museum of Freedom. But I forgot that there's another door between the door to the roof and vertibird. So I waited for a while. I sat there, motionless, like a lamp, for about 6 minutes. Turns out Preston truly is worthless, because I did more with 1 Molotov cocktail in a few seconds than he did with a laser musket in a few minutes. I then used a switchblade to kill 1 raider, brass knuckles to kill another, a tire iron to kill a 3rd, and I killed the last raider with a singular baton. Before talking to Preston, I went and got the power armor, because I wanted to know if there's any special power that could show up in the power armor. And there is. Neat. Next, I had to deal with all the raiders inside. Rather than wasting blood or weapons, I lured the death claw out of its sewer and got it to do my dirty work for me. There was 1 raider inside a building that neither the death claw or Preston could reach, so I used a pipe fist to kill it. After the death claw hit his blood, it was time to go and running down, but using a weapon to kill a death claw felt like a waste. So, I spent several minutes taunting it from inside a building to give me. It would be focused on me, while Preston did 90% of the shots he took. The claw did manage to get inside the building once, which was pretty true. Quite a while later, the beast was Preston thanked me, and I was off to the city. Along the way, I interrupted.
I look away for 2 fucking seconds and everyone dies.
Convinced him that I was going to handle the 4 souls inside, and did the old switcheroo by siding with the roof, getting rid of the fire from one. I had a few corpses to hang on the punches. I told him about that, and continued working this time. I knew the law was like I probably discovered a dozen locations on my travels. I think I was looking for something, but to be perfectly honest, I don't remember what it was, or if I was actually searching for it. Let's just say that I was, and that I did find it. After about 30 minutes of lonely wandering, I arrived at Dodge City, bullshitted my way through Piper's interview, tickets, experience, picked up trash, walked an assortment of weapons from our hero, and was on the rest of the Valentine. And this is where it is starting to get challenging. You can technically enter the vault without killing the triggerman, but you need to have planned ahead and gone for a stealth build. I didn't, which is very bad. I tried hiding and waiting, but they found me. What this means is that I'll have to kill them all. First I used a baseball bat, then a 10-millimeter pistol, then a submachine gun I picked up off the corpse, and by that point the triggermen closer to the subway station entrance weren't interested in fucking with me, so I entered the vault and ran past all the triggermen inside. When I approached Nick, I pulled out a double-barrel shotgun and painted the floor with blood. But everything has to be a fucking nightmare, because for whatever reason, I couldn't cope with it. Probably due to the 2 triggermen nearby, which quickly became, like, 6 triggermen. I really should have played out with this. Then the trigger man entered the room, and guess what? Nick couldn't give any less of a like a stuffed animal being tortured. He just stood there. I managed to take out 2 of them, and after a few of them, I got another one. By now, I was laughably low in supplies. I've got drugs and fruit. Awesome. The upside is that Nick is finally awake. Right. The next, I don't know, 4 minutes consisted of me running around avoiding gunfire while waiting for Nick to regain consciousness. Then I remember my old G technique, where you enter a new area while a companion is unconscious to make them wake up. I did that for a while, then ran past all the triggering until I got to the door that wouldn't open. Nick must be open. So I sat and waited for Nick to close his way up where it was. If I was smart, I would have snagged a missile launcher before I got myself in this mess. But I didn't, which means I have no way of alone. If I had an IQ that was in the double digits, I would have tried to convince Skinny to let me leave peacefully. Instead, I ran past them to the surface. And wouldn't you know it, Nick followed me and then he went back down. This is where things got really annoying. Skinny below must be dealt with, which, in my case, means that Nick Valentine must kill them because I'm essentially a wet noodle with hands. I did try fast traveling down the city, hoping that Nick would be there, but he wasn't. I then tried running into the play to get Nick to follow me to the surface. That worked, until Nick ran the wrong fucking way! I've wasted far too much time talking about this goddamn shit show. I'll jump to the end and tell you that it took a long time to get Nick to kill the remaining triggermen, allowing me to finally progress the story by explaining my situation to Nick in Diamond City. The door to Kellogg's house was locked, so I convinced the mayor to give me a key, looting Kellogg's house, traveled to Fort Hagen, went back to the Museum of Freedom to Power Armor, talked to Dogbeat, and entered Fort Hagen. Power Armor allowed me to plow through all the things without actually attacking any of them. I used the minigun, Kellogg, dimmed through the terminal, ignored the remaining symbols, watched the Princeton arrive in the Commonwealth, talked to Nick and Hyper, then went to Sanctuary, be trusted, so that I could go to the workbench there and store all my rest there. From there, I entered Good Neighbor, stole Batman, talked to Dr. Amari, entered Kellogg's Frosted Memories, and began the process of making my way to Virgil's Cave in the glowing sea. I ditched my power armor because I had plenty of ride-outs and ran away, and because I only had a little energy left for the soul I had. I avoided all the scary monsters, convinced Virgil to help me, picked up my power armor, and went to Green Temple and killed the Enforcer. Just like it was taken, I ignored the gunners shooting at me and saved my rage for the Corsair. I didn't have much to choose from, so I beat the Corsair to death with a dull Chinese officer sword. I then rolled with Dr. Cleo, spoke to Dr. Amari again, and entered the old church. The ghouls in the basement proved to be lurking around, so I reloaded the save, used the stealth boy, and met Desdemona. I save scummed until I passed the general, got the Corsair chip analyzed, returned to Virgil to get his plan, did some secret handshake shit with Deacon, and entered the switchboard. This was another situation that could have benefited from any plan at all. I let Deacon fight the Turas and the Six in the first section, but he's a pussy and couldn't handle it. I'm a pussy too, so I ran past the Six, activated a Turas that I thought would be much more effective than it was, hacked the door, and got myself into a bit of a pickle. See, I need to wait for Deacon to regain his composure and help me, but I can't do that with all these Sins attacking me. Praise be to God, however, I have Wildcat mine that I could use to take out every symptom of it. There were still more on the prowl, but I was able to use a stealth boy to sit in a corner and wait for a while. After about 8 minutes, nothing. I went to check on Deacon, and he was there as my savior, like the Daniel Radcliffe Lord of the Rings guy. Anyway, I waited a little longer. Deacon opened the door. I got the Deliverer, which is pretty much worthless. I let the Sins torture Deacon for a while, fled from the switchboard, and reported back to Desdemona. The time has now come to get inside the issue. I dropped off the Jumping Sanctuary and went to the build site. The issue here is that there are statues that need to go, but I can't afford to use my few remaining weapons on these rad roaches in the area. There is a Mr. Handy on site now, so I was able to lure the enemies into him and let him kill them. Then I got the machine built, faxed myself inside the institute, talked to Father, talked to the Division bigwigs, and began life as an underground agent by planting the seeds of revolution and sparked to a guy named Leo. Leo was but a dumb name. Like any tree hunter, I care for my plants, which is why I needed to get a password to use as fertilizer. You know what, this plant analogy was never funny to me. I traveled to Cambridge Polymer Labs to find a password somewhere within its partially collapsed walls.
I spent more time in there than I should have, and used it against the pistol, one of my last range weapons, before I got the code and burned to death again. My next objective was to speak to C-114, told me to take out 2 guards in order to aid the Mobile Revolution. This time, I prepared to use the missile launcher and Psycho to take out all 5 with one shot. Finally, something worked out in my favor. I continued working undercover, walked along the ocean floor in a power armor suit, got bucked hard by either a fat man or a missile launcher, used a recall code on a synth, let the forces deal with all the unpleasantness in the area, and returned to Father to let him ejaculate his praise all over the floor. I'm kind of weird to say that. The battle of Bunker Hill has arrived. I avoided all the enemies and rude people by hopping on the fence and running straight for the hostages in the basement. I did climb the stairs to the pointy tower thing to fall through the sky in hopes that I could either land on the vertibird or on a person on the ground. Turns out the case didn't work. What did work, though, was informing the sense that they're free. Father didn't like that, but who cares what he thinks? In fact, fuck my shit. Father was healed at the time, and I was tasked with getting the Brutus agitator from Matt's view. Thanks to my power armor, I was able to fall a great distance and stiff a lot of fighting with the Brutus. After I got the agitator, there was no problem. The sentry bots and assault rods. I managed to take out one of the sentry bots with a Piper, with some help from Lady Fillmore, who also took out the Protectron. The Assaultrons fell on me, though. I used an assault rifle to kill one, a combat rifle to kill a Protectron, and a sledgehammer to kill the last Assaultron. And I just want to say that I still really hate that I combated more. From there, I returned to Father, who told me that some nerd is being a stubborn loser and locked himself inside the closet. I used a pulse grenade and a reload grenade to kill the gunners outside the house, and ended up having to use Kellogg's pistol to take out the last gunner. I convinced Wallace to go to the Institute, formed the Commonwealth of the Institute's position as their new gods of the wasteland, upgraded the radio in Diamond City, upgraded the Institute's reactor, and was told that I needed to wipe out the railroad. I really didn't want to, so I let Desdemona know what Father suggested. Then I pulled another switcheroo. The weapons I just bought to take her top killed Desdemona and her stupid friends. The end of the line is fast approaching. Actually, I just completed that quest, but you know what I mean. All that's left is to defeat the brother of Steel on their turn. I prepared by going through a cave in the glowing sea to get a fresh suit of power armor. Then I was back to the airport and let the final assault begin. There are 3 generators that need to be destroyed. I used a fat man to take out the first one, then a flamer on the second, and for the third, I was a little stuck. I had no weapons. I tried to get the turrets or Protectrons damaged to me by Project Terran, but
How do I look?
then I tried to
Like one of the bad guys.
also did not work.
Perfect for your
There
undercover
was only
assignment.
one solution.
So Makarov is the prize.
I called the timeout.
Makarov's
let
no
the program
prize.
go
He's a
into
whore.
Well, I
A
went to
mad
Diamond
dog
City
killer for the highest
from
bidder.
Dr. Sun. Then I
Just
went back
remember
to
your new identity.
took out the last
It'll keep
generator
you
and
alive.
had to protect the Institute
Welcome to the
virus.
Mw2.
While it flooded
The
with
best
crime,
hand-picked group of warriors on the planet.
I'm gonna go ahead and skip
It's
a
an
lot
honor,
of
sir.
shit. and
When do
tell
I
you
meet
that
the rest of
this
the
really
team?
didn't work out very well.
They're on a mission recovering a downed ACS module behind enemy lines.
Their feet wet?
The problem was I had
Imagine
no
they're
weapons.
just about
So I
freezing
took a
right
step
now.
back and examined this whole situation. I scoured the Fallout wiki for every weapon that I could realistically get my hands on, and then I put my plans into action. I went back to when I first arrived at the airport, went to Diamond City to buy a syringe, went to Hubris Comics to get a Grog Mag ad, and also had then I went to the Museum of
Thanks,
Witchcraft
Solomon.
because there was
Let's go.
supposedly a revolutionary sword stuck somewhere in the ceiling, but I couldn't find it after a few seconds of looking. So I told the Deathclaw I was not in the mood for his shit, returned the Deathclaw egg to its mother, snagged a Deathclaw gauntlet, and went back to Diamond City to buy any more weapons that I hadn't used yet. A baseball grenade, a cryo grenade, a super sledge, and a splatter. Yeah, I made an executive decision here. The splatter is different from a baseball bat. It's not like the 10mm pistol and the Deliverer, where the Deliverer is a singular unique weapon. The Swatter is its own platform of weapon that's similar to a baseball bat. I laid all my marbles on the table with this plan. It would either work or I would fail the challenge. I took out the first generator with a bolt-action pipe pistol, which is a different weapon from the normal pipe pistol and pipe revolver. Took out the second generator with a syringer and destroyed the last generator with a flamer. Now I must defend Liberty Prime. I made my way up the stairs to the top of the platform and shot my only mini-nuke down at the Brotherhood soldiers on the ground. Then I got smart and put my power armor right in front of the stairs to block any further cum-stains from coming up the right side of the platform. Then I just sort of held out for a while. Things went south after the virus got to 75% and Elder Matson arrived on the field. My sense had pretty much ran out, and I'd used my last weapon, leaving me defenseless. I parked my power armor as close to the virus's right side as I could to protect it, and I tried to use my body as a shield on the top of the platform. But that didn't work. I would have to be a distraction from down below, even though I had no weapon, no power armor, and was running pretty low on healing items. After a few minutes of that not working, I went back up top, got in my power armor, and managed to protect the virus just long enough for it to finish its job. I got the hell out of there, but teleported to safety, watched the Priswick destroy everything, including my power armor, which I ditched and threw away. I went back to the institute, spoke to Sean for the last time, skipped it all because fuck my son, and beat Fallout 4 by only using each weapon once. Fuck was that sound? I'll be real with you. I thought this was going to be more fun than it was. Once you start using the weapons, you slowly start to realize how there aren't very many distinct weapons in the game as you might have thought. According to my list, I used 45 different weapons.
Hold on!
And you might be wondering what the point of this run was. Well, I'll tell you. Believe it or not, this entire thing was essentially a practice round for when I attempt to play Fallout 4 without attacking anything. God, that's gonna suck. Record this video about whether or not you can beat Fallout 4 by only using each one. If you enjoyed the video, what is anything? Follow me on Twitter at Mw2. My name is Paul.
The American Indian, Anishinaabe, northern Minnesota. Grandfather and I are hunting in a woods. After an October rain, following real fresh deer tracks. Stalk nearly 1/2 a mile when suddenly we hear an owl hooting. Ah, shit. Now in Anishinaabe culture, owls are not inherently evil omens, but messengers from the Great Spirit, Mw2, and other spirits, but in some cases can transmit bad medicine, curse, onto folks when used in wicked ways by medicine men, shaman. Grandfather, being a traditional native, puts down tobacco and advises me to do the same. Continue our hunt. Suddenly, again, hear owl, look up in nearby tall pine tree and see it. Really large, blankly stares. Mind you, this is during the day, early afternoon. Grandfather is staring back at it. Tells me to turn around and head back. Hike back to the vehicle. Nearing the trail we last parked and suddenly hear a grunting noise to the right in a small clearing by a pond. Very sick looking and scrawny doe about 75 yards away. Grandfather, seeing this animal is suffering, decides to end its misery. Doe is broadside as well. Grandpa's a lifelong hunter, so easy kill. Shoots. Looks up shocked. That bullet went right through it. Deer just lifts its head up to looks at us. Bolts another round. Click. Bolts another round. Same thing. Click. Confused as fuck. New rifle and ammo is right out of the box. Bolts last round. Fires. Missed. See dirt kick up behind the doe. Doe is just standing there still facing us. Grandfather, with a look of understanding, quietly shoulders his rifle. Without a word heads back to the truck. Get inside. We make our way back home without really saying a word. After an hour drive we arrive back home. Hear an owl again. Grandfather says something in Anishinaabe. I recognize the words bad medicine and messenger. Loads rifle again and goes towards where the owl was heard. Wants me to follow him. Nearing edge of the yard when we hear some branches rustling. Near an old oak tree we see this large owl again, blankly staring. Grandfather stops, aims, and shoots. Puff of feathers, and an extremely odd noise, almost like a man exclaiming pain. Hear it fall. Grandfather looks at me. Grandson, go grab it. He turns around and walks back towards the house. Do as he says. Stop in front of it. What the fuck? It's an old owl carcass, with a buckskin bag inside of it. Scared shitless, I still manage to pick it up. Walk back to the house and see grandfather gathering wood and tinder for fire. Grandson, someone doesn't like me. After fire is started and going good, toss carcass in the fire. Burns extremely fast, even the buckskin pouch is incinerated fast. Smells some really good sweet herbs when it's done. Grandfather exclaims we had bad luck today hunting because someone sent us a bad messenger, the owl, and ruined our hunting trip by offering us sick game, the doe. Explains to me how usually medicine men use wicked teachings to fuck with other people by cursing them. Sorry if it's a confusing story to follow. Ironically, being an American Indian, I am bad at storytelling.
You were left at one of them. You've been spotted. Take cover. There's a truck coming. Stay out of sight.
Right around the end of February, beginning of March, it's starting to feel a lot more serious.
We have to prepare that we're going to have to lose every storm.
This is like the moment where, like, you know, when my class is exhausted and I'm like, let's go.
Growing up, literally all I wanted to do was skate. Thankfully, mom and dad, like, really supported. Yeah, family's everything in my world for sure.
Hostile to the right. Hostile to the right.
FD back here. Former hotshot. In a woods typo guy. Side note from Wiki. In the United States, an interagency hotshot crew, IHC, or simply hotshot crew, is an elite hand crew consisting of 20 to 22 wildland firefighters, with specific qualifications to take on leadership roles while providing extended attack on large fires across the nation. They meet and exceed the requirements of Type 1 firefighters in terms Demon dogs. Those things are the creepiest things I have ever seen, and I genuinely can't comprehend something more horrific than that. I fully believe that these demon dogs are the ones behind all the dogman stories in America. I can't explain what they are, only that they are demons that vaguely resemble rabid dogs on two legs. They are not of our dimension, and can teleport at will, turn invisible, all that. Visit my grandma in bumfuck nowhere. Small village, woods all around, weird folk shit going on. Typical Eastern European wilderness. It's getting dark. She asks me to gather all the chicken and turkeys and geese and all the birds since they've been out to pick grass. Suddenly hear my grandma's dog bark and yelp like hell. It's like he's mad. I had geese getting attacked. Think it's a fox just attacking birds. I run to see what I can only describe a thing on two legs with the head of a dog. That thing is black. Looks really skinny and tall but has a clear dog head and walks on two legs. The thing stands above a dead goose. Looks devoured. Only feathers and blood left. It turns and walks away towards the woods, and a few minutes later I hear this really loud ARR almost like a pirate call. too afraid to pursue. For the record, our dog was a really big mean thing. A couple months later our grandma called us to tell that the dog died. Apparently someone strangled him and hanged him off a tree near his dog house. We suspected our dog attacked some neighbors' dogs and they killed him in revenge. Since our dog was generally really mean and liked to fight with other dogs. It's really odd though. Nothing like that ever happens there. People don't just go around killing other people's animals. The village is small and everyone knows everyone. I fucking doubt that happened. A couple friends of mine in WV have seen them. They didn't know the word dogman. Each called them monkey dogs.
Picking up large heat signatures near the tower. Could be BMP.
Actually, I'm curious. Either of you ever see or hear anything about a mangy-looking dog thing that walks on its hind legs? Both I and a good friend have seen it near the woods above North Van. Think I may have posted before about this on this board, but being stupid, I didn't type it out first and save it. See the attached pic. About 10 to 12 years ago when I was in high school, I was seeing a girl who lived near a small strip mall and I was heading home around 10 p.m. via the bus. The red line shows the route I took from her place to the bus stop in question. While I was waiting at the bus stop, I would periodically step onto the road and look down to see if the bus was coming yet. If you Google Nestor's Market, North Van, you will be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. Normally you can see quite a ways farther than the Google Street View does justice. At any rate, after checking a few times, I saw the headlights of the bus coming up Dolliton. As I'm watching it, I see some kind of animal poke its head out of the bushes where the blue arrow is. I assumed it was a raccoon or some other small critter until it stepped out into the open. The bus was still a ways away, but I could still see the silhouette of whatever came out of the trees quite clearly. It looked like an emaciated greyhound on its hind legs except the back legs had their joints reversed. It stepped out, and scampered from its side of the road to my side and disappeared into the bush on my side of the road. I was basically dumbstruck by what I saw and didn't take my eyes off the road until the bus pulled up. The driver said he didn't see anything when I asked if he saw the animal in the road just then, and I finished my journey home without incident. I legitimately wonder if I just saw something normal and confused it for what I thought I saw until I asked some other friends, particularly ones that worked up on MT Seymour, and they described seeing a similar creature when they would drive up or down the mountain late at night. Also note that I did not give a description of what I saw when I would ask other people, only if they had ever seen anything strange, and they would give a very similar description to what I had seen. I've never spoken to anyone who seemed to do anything other than scamper about, but most people do describe that it had an almost sick feeling to it. Not necessarily that it was sick, more that it was like a symptom of something in the area being sick. 1998, 10-year-old me sleeping in day bed in cabin. Parents in another cabin. I'm staying in cabin with cousin. 13. Deep in a woods. Cabin has no power/running water. Just fireplace and candles. Apparently cousin and my mom saw some other animal. I didn't see shit. Comfy sleeping. Huge flap on the wall behind me shakes my bed. Wake up. Cousin's eyes wide open. The dead still sitting up in bed. Cousin wakes up using the light. There's a little window and he looks outside, freaks out, and jumps back into his bed. Whatever. Go back to sleep. Wake up and see this long arm that's hand looks more like a chimpanzee hand. Slowly move up my bed from under it. Can't move body. Puckeratus.zip. Hand starts choking me. Holds me under bed. I managed to give out a weak yelp and cousin helps me out of under the bed. He's freaking out and so am I. Too scared to go to parents' cabin. We stay up for the rest of the night. Asked him later what he saw. Said he saw a wolf stand up on two legs and smiled at him. Asked him if it looked like a werewolf. He said it just looked like a regular wolf that suddenly started to move like a cartoon and was very expressive. would have passed it off as a waking dream if not for the fact he said he saw a hand pull me under the bed and whatever skinwalker will think he saw outside.
Ooh, a vector. Look at it, guys. Fortnite. Aww.
Hey guys, Kick here. I would like to take a moment before we start this video to tell you about my amazing sponsor today, my Discord channel. Please, take the time, go down to the description of this video, join up, become a member. Everyone's welcome.
Okay, /X/. I know these Native American cryptid stories are played out to hell and back, but have one to share from a few months ago. This is my first time telling anyone about it, and also my first time doing one of these, so bear with me. 18th birthday. Grandparents own 50-ish acres of forest around an hour and a half away, in between the mountainous and Piedmont regions of North Carolina. Decide for my birthday to go camping out with some of my friends. There's a total of 6 of us, including me. Let's call them Dave, John, Lisa, Andrew, and Sam. Around a half-mile off of the main road, there's a decently sized cabin. Okay, I'm going to drop the green text thing from here on out. This will be easier for me to explain this way. The cabin is mostly just a living room with a bathroom and storage. The main room consists of a single queen-size bed, a TV on a stand connected to a satellite antenna, a kitchenette, a table and 4 chairs, and a few sofas. There was also an air mattress we had to sleep on. The idea was that 2 of us would sleep on the bed, and 1 person would sleep on the air mattress, while the other 3 were sleeping pigs. Then, the next night, we would switch places, and so on and so forth. Anyways, we get up there in 2 cars, mine and Dave's. These guys are all pretty close to me, but some of them were unfamiliar with the others, particularly John. John was a coworker.
Look at guys, XXX Contagion funny moment.
It was kind of awkward, but as the night went on, we started drinking and everyone began having a good time. Even though the cabin had a fully equipped kitchenette, we had made a fire and were cooking hot dogs for lunch. Shit didn't start getting weird until about 11 p.m., give or take. We were all having a good time.
We're gonna have to make the jump. I'm not gonna make it.
One of my buddies, Sam, said something along the lines of, "Oh,
No way.
I need to piss," and walked along to a tree a ways away to do so. I didn't notice it at the time, but John later told me that at this point he started getting really unnerved, out of nowhere. After about 2 minutes of Sam being gone, a weird smell kind of rolled over into the area we were in. It smelled like burning rubber mixed with dry mud and a penny. I noticed it, but I don't think anyone else other than John really noticed it at this point, as it was really just a whiff. After another almost 5 minutes, Sam had finally come back from his piss. He seemed a little upset, but I didn't catch on that something was really off until later. For the course of about 10 or 15 minutes, the smell progressively got worse to the point where everyone had noticed it, and John suddenly stood up and said, "I think we should go inside now." We all filed into the cabin, and then someone, I can remember who, asked John, why the fuck did we need to come in for?
He's not loyal to a
John's mother
flag
or
or a country
grandmother,
or any
I
set
can
of
remember
ideas.
exactly,
He
was
trades
a Native
blood
American.
for money.
John was really into the culture of the
He's your
time and
best
had
friend.
visited some of his relatives on West
You don't want to know what it's cost already to put you next to him.
thought that something might be fucking with us and that we should be really careful. All of us, at this point, wholeheartedly believed he was fucking with us. I mean, at this point all that had happened was a weird smell, right? That was when I realized something, and my stomach sank to my feet. There were only 5 of us in there. Right then, we heard a knock on the door, followed by, "Hey, what happened?" I ended up walking off a little too far and got lost, and when I come back, the fire's out and y'all are all inside. Keep in mind, it had been maybe a minute since we stood up and got inside, and the fire was going fairly hard at that point. We let him in, and then I asked him, "What are you talking about? You were sitting right next to me out there." He then explained how that was impossible, and that he'd been stumbling around in the dark like an idiot for 20 minutes in a drunken stupor trying to get back. The cabin then got
Epic.
really quiet.
I didn't know it was this early.
Stopped talking, silent, but there was absolutely no noise, entire silent. I had spent many nights in the cabin before this point, and
Gamer moment. Ow! Did my nigga just shoot me?
it was unmistakable in the dead silence, a loud crunch on dead leaves, followed by the sound of a foot dragging across the ground, almost in a limp. The only reason we could hear it was due to the thin walls on the cabin. Another thing about the cabin is that there is a lot of windows. I'm not sure if it's like there. The footsteps were coming from the side of the house, almost directly underneath one of the windows, where it then stopped. Lisa slowly grabbed
Guys, look, it's Tobuscus.
flashlight towards the window as the cabin lights were on. As the light hit the window, there was a flash of light, followed by the sound of footsteps running deeper in the forest, much faster than before. While I, Lisa, John, Andrew, and Dave were all happy as fuck, Sam started to get mad, saying how John and I were breaking him, and just hold up to us so we could go back to having fun. Just then, a nasty copper smell seeped into the room, and then we heard it. An ear-piercing scream. I heard description. However, it was overdone and sounded more like it was singing, if that was possible. After about 5 minutes of this, it got dead silent again.
You're gay. Being gay is sin. See, like he was dragging him. They're gay.
Much more strange than the loud cadence of Sam's scream. He repeatedly said, "Let me in, guys. Let me the fuck in. Please." And knocking slash clawing at the door. As the thing went on yelling this, the facade of Sam's voice began falling apart as the voice got deeper and deeper, eventually sounding like one of those Elmo toys where the battery was dying and the voice got really low. Then for some reason, around 2 hours, and then after he finally stopped, it began easing never bothered you before or if it had moved in. If you guys have any suggestions as to what to do, I'm all ears.
Only Invisalign treatment uses smart track technology. It moves through more cleanly and predictably than ordinary aligners, so I can create custom meanings every smile.
No! What the? No! He was like the only good guy. Cause we're the good guys, right guys?
Late at night intent. Heard strange sounds in woods. Let's investigate one day. Pointed just outside camp. Shines my super bright point TN flashlight. Just my dad taking a shoot. I think I would rather have seen us get in Addison. It's 107 degrees. Nighttime comes. 95 degrees outside. There's dolphins at Gas Cherokee National Forest. Himmacan Brook, remote land north of Spruce Creek. Me and boys been chilling. Cooking on the fire. Keep fire going all night. So that we get it going easy in the morning. Look out of camper window. While struggling to sleep on shitty camper mattress. Fire's going down. So I'm gonna go get
Goodbye, Liv.
some firewood on it. Step outside. Hear some loud running on the back side of the camper. Biggest cricket I've seen in the cloud. But there are black bear around. Look around back of camper. I see the creature running over a crescent hill. Its silhouette outlined by the moon and sky. My pedal will launch you. I knew immediately never did find any tracks or droppings. I'm just glad it fucked off instead of ripping me to shreds. Anyway, hunting. In the deep with zero gas plant in very out there, Alberta. Deep snow. Dark earth. Gas plant has a giant flare stack burning constantly, but is otherwise far away and unmatched. It feels like walking around under the eye of Sauron. Very pronounced effect in the dark. Shooting time angles. Dark. Go to pack in it. Walk out alongside big cut line that is perpendicular to another cut line for a massive transmission powered line. Basically a big X cut out of otherwise howling glorious.
No! No!
Now it's moving down. With a constant white noise. Meanwhile, the back quota of the flare burns above in the black haze. Okay, I'm getting floral with the language, but my hand to God, this is all true. Walking down the crazy users is like having to look back. Someone standing there. About 150 yards back, standing at the center of the X under the power line. I was already that
I'm sorry, Kirill. I wish I could have been there.
The back unit just standing there. All I could make out is one dark hair, white Odioro, just standing there beneath the line. Doing it because I'm not sure if I'm actually seeing this. No binocular. So scoped in
I'm so sorry, wait, they're all still alive. The boys are still alive. The boys are back in town. Wait. We're all still alive.
All I could make out. I lower the rifle and raise a hand in greeting. No response. After a very long moment, Duke turns and walks away from me down the cut line. To this day I don't know why I did this next part. Instead of just getting the fuck out. Duke has taken off in the direction of the 200 kilometers. In a snowstorm, the night of a forecast -30 cold snap, and I felt like a before scoping him, walk back to the X, get to the X walking back through my footprints in the snow. Above the snow is hissing so loud on the power lines that it drowns out all the sounds. totally surrounded by white.
Lev, don't die on me. Don't die on me, Victor. Lev!
Look around. Don't see you. Look down. Footprints. Naked human footprints. Walking away from where I had seen the guy, but absolutely no prints of my
Victor.
It was Alex
It's just me and Makarov.
prints in case he was following me. No. Just two naked prints of someone standing on the spot. Then a trail going away into the darkness. Turn and start
Lev, Kirill, Victor.
every 10 seconds or so.
Oh wait, never mind. Lev, Kirill, you will not have died in vain. My children. Cover me, Kirill. Kirill, what the fuck? Victor, is that you? Yeah. Victor, what the fuck?
Next day, working with older native Canadian colleague who I greatly respect and who keeps traditional knowledge in practices. Tell him my story. He gives me the weirdest look I've ever gotten from another human. Goes quiet for a while, then just tells me, don't go hunting there anymore. That was it. Never. Last year, the whole place got clear cut. It looks like the moon now. 2018, Northern Gasification, blasting everything with my voice nugget, because there's tons of LPS for that. When it was dirt cheap, about to pack in one evening. See massive fuck off more on a hillside, on property. So fuck it, murder point eggs. Voice nugget belches fire, wet sound. Of me being speared by the spirit of Soviet Russia, or unfree. Sure I didn't pay. Take off after it, get on hillside, see more hoofing it down. Work off, line up shot. Fucking near broke cane loop. Round impacts on his spine. Wilbur is now dragging legs. The fuck is up with this king. Work all together. Jam near broke back in here. Act out my own WWI sniper scene. Blood explodes from between Wilbur's shoulders. The fuck? Just die. Wilbur lays there just screaming. Walk up. Worked off. Aim for his head. Blow cookie brains out onto the group. Feeling slightly like shit before making him suffer. Was one tough bastard. Drag him back and clean him up. Phone post on /K.
So guys, are we gonna go forward or not?
Makes myself feel better. Pretty much how every story on /K. Went down. With a very rural part of South Louisiana, with my granny who was basically a cryptid person. People round there honestly believe in the abortion she claimed to have killed one. Even had a giant sidewalk skin to prove it. Although she was a known teller in tall tales and most of us kids suspected she'd sewed two walls together somehow. She also carried a magic .22 revolver. That one I believe, because I saw it. My uncle also found a homeless guy with his back skin hanging dead from a tree and we all thought it was some sort of monster. Grandma said it was probably the KKK lynching people, but there was only like 4 of those dudes in the area and they were all old and shit. One time we also found a huge weird looking cat that Granny swore was a man in disguise. She grabbed it by its scarf and shook it around and put it in the swamp. It yelled exactly like a grown man and ran off. When she let it go, I have tons of these stories. It was a truly weird, creepy place. Okay, so my grandma always carried this Ruger single thing. Basically a .22 that you
I'm gonna have to watch Kirill, Victor, and Lev die over again. Lev?
Holding full of ammo, herbs, explosives, cigarettes, everything else kids wanted to get their hold of. The gun was cool because she could carry the .22 mag rounds and put in the .22X to let us kids play with it, or shoot cans or ammunition. Well, one day, and my little cousin had pissed at a big gator by the door. Normally gators are pretty chill, and you can get near them, but this one must have had babies or some shit. Granny spent around screaming for us to get behind her, and cowboy dumps .22.
There goes Lev. It's just Kirill and Victor now.
She grabbed the little bad skull off her wrist and crushes his mumbling, "Come on, old friend, I need 6 more," then somehow fired 6 more shots. I was young, but I know I didn't imagine it. Maybe she is just crazy fast, and I didn't catch it, or I saw real magic. Later that week, we found feathers in backyard, and she had a new bad skull for her wrist. Her magic gun is mine now, and it's never behaved anything other than normal, other than being a very accurate and well-maintained.
Victor? Kirill? Okay, good, you're still here. So which one of you dies next, so I can avenge you? Did Macrop? No.
Start falling off the shelves. No doubt of that so fast, my dad. Almost left me as we run out past and said, see what happened. Mom is super into /x/shit. So we go on haunted walk that night. Stopped in front of bookstore. Tell story about how this was an orphanage that burned down with a bunch of children or something like that. To this day they enjoy playing around and scaring people more fun. In the upstairs where the beds were, Dad and I both look at each other as we should ourselves. When I and my wife were quite a bit younger, we decided that we would spend the night hanging outdoors. Yes, July of '76. We arrived. We lived in Pueblo at the time, and decided to go hiking, fishing and camp along Mine Creek between Rango and Silver. There wasn't anything other than rookies in the creek, but they were plentiful and fun to catch. We left our car by the side of the road along Old Mine Creek Road about 5 miles in from the highway, and packed an upstream along the creek with our shepherd, Rebel. It only took us about an hour to get to where we wanted to camp, a nice meadow beside the creek just before a slot canyon. That required you to swim to get any further upstream. Either that will take us several miles deeper. We camped uneventfully that night, the 3rd of July, enjoying the sounds of the creek and nature all around us. It was such a nice night.
Vector? Vector!
Didn't bother to pitch our little back cooking tent.
Okay, now we're still alive.
But we had the fire going, and our lightweight 30-degree bags, so we were very comfortable. The next day we had breakfast, packed up and we all swam our way up the creek to the next white spot with a bit of bank in the canyon, only about 150 yards or so. Now Rebel was never one to turn down a chance to get wet, but we had to do quite a bit of coasting to get him to follow us up the creek. We fished and splashed upstream a bit, and before we knew it was lunchtime. We thought we'd fry up some of those rookies, but we were in this slot canyon that terminated in a fairly deep pool with about a 10-foot rocky waterfall at the end of it. We decided that I would scale the waterfall and pull the dog and the pack up, and then I'd help Maggie get up. It was fairly difficult, even with the help of
Wait, is Kirill dead?
Over from a mining operation.
Kirill's dead!
I followed the canyon. It took a lot of effort and
no, he isn't. Oh, what the fuck? I killed him! No, I didn't mean to!
Happy about it either.
I'll avenge you.
More irritable by the minute. We found enough wood at the rocky top of the to get a fire started and get the fish fried up, but that was about it. You know the uneasy feeling that several others have mentioned. It was like a switch turned on, and we all of a sudden became aware of our surroundings. It grew like a cancer, and I actually watched the hair on the back of Rebel's neck stand up. Maggie felt it too, and we both noticed that it was getting dark fast down in this canyon. First thought in my head was the cat, and I actually felt a bit better about that, because I figured the cat would leave us be. Between the fire and the dog, I told Maggie what I thought.
Looks like Victor's the next one to go.
I did not want to get caught in the dark in the canyon, for a bunch of reasons. Flash floods, etc. I spied what looked like a mine shaft about 200 feet above us. A heck of a steep climb, but it looked like our best bet. We pulled out our flashlights, and by the time we reached it, it was pitch black. The dog was a mess by this point, whipping around in circles, whining, yelping, and generally being a real pain in the ass. Maggie and I were drenched with sweat and immediately began to freeze. July in the mountains is a weird thing. I have seen blizzard conditions before, but this was like someone turned on the deep freeze. We were at what looked like the start of the line. It only went back about 10 feet, but there was evidence of the map, and they curiously looked fresh. I was too tired to think more about it. I knew we had to get out of our wet clothes, pitch the tent, and climb in our bags before we got serious hypothermia. That was no fun, let me tell you, having to do all that by the light of our rapidly dying flashlight, and there was no firewood anywhere close. I cursed myself several times for letting things get this far out of control. We finally got the tent pitched right there in the back of this little cave, butt naked as we had no dry clothes left. The sleeping bags were slightly damp too, even though we had stuffed them in plastic garbage bags before our swimming expedition up the canyon. We froze. It was miserable. About 1 in the morning I called Rebel into the tent for a little heat. The dog seemed to have calmed down greatly, and with the added heat we drifted off. Sometime during the night I heard something that just about woke me. I was dead, and he licked my...
No one's gonna say a word when the Russians club every American they can reach.
Makarov was one move ahead. Now he's left thousands of bodies at the feet of an American.
We're the only ones who know it was Makarov's up. Our credibility died with Allen. We need proof.
Follow the shell. Alejandro Rojas.
Never heard of him, sir.
You know him as Alex the Red. He supplied the assault.
One bullet to unleash the fury of a whole nation. Which means that...
He's our ticket to Makarov.
Ghost, plates are a match.
Copy. Any size Rojas right at man. Okay, I just saw a fish.
Stopped twice
That's good,
already.
I spooked one.
Wait, it stopped again. Stand by.
Good to know that there are fish in here.
Got a positive ID.
I don't know what kind of fish are in here.
Happy to see him. Ghost, we have a situation here.
Okay, there's a big fish.
Get down! Get down!
Oh.
Okay, so I just moved 2 big old fish, like right here. Again, I guess it's good to know that there are fish.
Roger, I'm on my way.
Fuck.
Let's go! Let's go!
Fish in here. With most of the creeks I don't know anyone who's been here. I found one reference to it online like 10 years ago. In a forum. Like a hunting league fishing forum. People apparently fished here 10 years ago. And I did see some people fly fishing down like right by the trailhead. So, nothing else.
We need him alive!
That's good.
Roach, take
Yeah.
the shot! What was that?
Saw that one come up.
What do you mean? I was like 1,000 feet away from him when I shot him with that shotgun.
What kind of fish?
Roger, I'm on my way.
Tiger trout. Big old tiger trout. What on earth? Not expecting that. How big is this thing?
He went into the alley.
Non-lethal takedowns only! We need him alive!
8-inch tiger trout. What? See the pattern, that tiger
Roach,
pattern.
take the shot! Open his leg!
Tiger trout or a brook trout, brown trout hybrid. This one isn't especially pretty looking. It's a good sized fish. Okay, it's actually about a 15-inch fit.
Roach, this is going to take some time. Go with Meat and Royce and check out the favela for any signs of Rojas. That's where the guy's headed.
Yeah, 9 to 6, 15. Great size, great fit. See ya. Good. Good. Oh, there's a big one that I just scared.
Roach,
Look, it's Ghost.
Go with Meat and Royce and check out the favela for any signs of Rojas. That's where this guy's headed.
Royce for season 5, Modern Warfare? Question mark, question mark, question mark? Or maybe Meat?
Oh, it's on.
Get the cities out of here. Roger that.
How far out are we? I don't know. But Royce for Modern Warfare season 5 Battle Pass confirmed. Fuck.
Wow, that's pretty big. There's the fish. Beautiful. Where did my rod go? I didn't know what I did with my
Bruh.
float away somewhere? Oh, okay, it's right here. As you may or may not know, I have a goal to fish every county you have to fish in a creek. Every county you can talk the way there. This creek runs through 2 counties. The first fish I caught, that tiger trout was like right on the line between the 2 counties. And I wasn't sure which county to count it in, so I decided to keep fishing upstream. And this one that I caught got me squarely in that county. Now I just go backtrack, and then hike the creek further down to catch one in the other county.
Guess I gotta use my automatic weapon.
Another good sized fish. 13, 14 inches. Back down the canyon. This is a beautiful place. Gorgeous canyon. Really pretty creek. There's actually a second creek that comes in from this canyon. And they both meet around here. Right on the county line, but I need to go further down and start fishing again.
Tired of not being able to catch trout on a fly rod? Looking to catch more? This video
That's why you don't shoot me. Hello. Let's see what he does with shotgun. Okay, he just looks it over like he does with a rifle. Hold up. My god, bro. You're so impatient. How?
Contact just fell out. Good. Not easy to fish when you can't see. Oh, and I dropped it. Well,
Royce, give me a sit rep. Over here. Over. Copy that. Keep something. Let me know if you see him. Out. Roach, move up. Let's go. Beat it down. I repeat, beat it down.
doesn't matter if I got one anyway. Come on over. Oh. Got it. Oh, got it. cockpit. The second